All right. We recollected ourselves.
Yes.
Taking a breath in.
Sorry.
Alhamdulillah, it's really good to see, such an emotional reaction. Because normally when you see people who convert, you don't see that, you don't see their emotional journey.
Mm-mm.
So for you to, share that with us is just so profound. And I think a lot of other people will be really not only just inspired by that, but moved.
Mm-hmm.
And may Allah keep you just as emotional as you are now, like connected with Him and just so in love with Him. Keep you that way, inshallah.
Thank you, inshallah.
So the day you became Muslim, you took your Shahada.
Mm-hmm.
Or why don't you tell us the story of you taking Shahada?
So I took my Shahada that night that I almost killed myself, almost committed suicide. I called my friend, and his name was Muhammad, and he was a Muslim also. And I called him up, and I knew he was like the only person that could possibly, he knew a mosque in the state of Delaware. So we went, and he took me on the sister's side, and there was 2 sisters. And I remember one of the sisters, she just welcomed me with open arms, and I never felt so much love because of that one sister. And I told her everything that happened and why I was here and that I wanted to convert to Islam. And when she opened up the Quran and started giving me my Shahada and everything, you could just feel just goodness in the room. Like, you could just feel love and just, it's very weird to describe, but you felt a lot of greatness in the room. You felt like Allah was there that day. You could tell He was there.
That presence was,
yes,
again, so profound.
It
the energy was...
The energy, and every word that I said from the Shahada, it literally felt like a huge weight was just slowly coming off my back. And I felt like 80 pounds lighter after I gave the Shahada. Alhamdulillah, it felt like a very great Islamic diet. It felt literally, you had the weight that I've held on for so long was finally coming off. So
that's amazing. I hope that one day we all can experience something like that. And then how was your first day as a Muslim?
My first day, I want to say weird, but it wasn't weird. It was happy. I was, excited. I'm like, oh, I'm a Muslim. It's like, oh, what do I do now? I'm like, oh, what, like, do I go to sleep or do I, you see a friend of mine? My first day, I actually told my best friend Alicia, who I've known since 3rd grade, I called her up and told her that I am now a Muslim. She didn't even hesitate. She's like, oh my gosh, really? Congratulations. And I'm like, okay, that was not what I was expecting. But, she didn't care. She didn't judge. She just said, oh, I love you. You're my best friend. I'm here for you. So it was good to know that my best friend was there for me by my side and protecting me and, just being there. And, like the first day being a Muslim, it was strange because then I woke up every morning seeing my parents. And that was the moment that I knew I would have to one day tell them, your little girl is a Muslim. But it was good. I went through hardships in my life. I conquered them. And I conquered them with Allah.
Alhamdulillah. So your friend, did she know that you were going through a journey of faith? Like you were seeking a different religion? Did she have any idea?
She knew I was, going to different churches and seeing what different churches they might have had, or like, I would, step into like a Protestant church or a Catholic church or a Baptist church or something, and I would even think about atheism too. But I just like, no, there's a God. I know there's a God. Because how else would God make this beautiful earth with, so many crazy people on it? But yeah, I mean, she knew I was, going around and searching for some sort of faith in my life.
All right, so my next question was, after you became Muslim, how has it changed your daily life?
It's changed my daily life by waking up every morning and saying, like Bismillah, like thank you Allah, or Alhamdulillah, like thank you Allah. Just like little things, like when you wake up in the morning, you're just saying these little phrases, and it just makes you appreciate your daily life. It's like, oh, another day that I'm alive to experience maybe a good day or a bad day, or a half equal day. Maybe half of a good day and then half of a bad day. It was just good to know that I was awake to witness those days. And I'm still grateful to witness those days. So my daily life has been extraordinary. I think it's been it's really opened up my eyes more. And seeing, I shouldn't take the little things for granted. I should take more than the little things for granted. I should be grateful for the little things, or grateful for the big things.
So your daily life before you were a Muslim, you mentioned how you would be at parties and things like that.
Yeah.
So in comparison to your pre-Muslim life to your post-Muslim life, that change must be very different. And
yes,
I guess you can explain this when you tell us how you told your family and friends that you became Muslim, and their reaction, and how they have seen the difference in you, in your character, in your choices in life. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Telling my parents was a very huge obstacle course for me. I actually told my parents separately, not together. I think it was more hard on my father than on my own mother. I actually told my mom that, hey, I'm going to go for a walk when I talk to you about something. And I remember because we were walking down to the park in my neighborhood, and she said to me, she goes, "You're not pregnant, are you?" And I was like, "No, I'm not pregnant." I told her, I was like, I am Muslim, that I converted to Islam, a few months ago. And she said to me, oh, they don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe, this and that. They believe in killing. I was like, that's not it at all. And I told her these things that, we do believe in Jesus. We don't believe in killing. We don't believe in war. We don't believe, what you see in the media. We don't believe that. So I had to, settle her down and explain to her what Islam was really about. It just, we probably didn't talk for a good few weeks, a few days to maybe a week or two. And then I told my dad. I couldn't tell my dad face to face. I actually wrote him a note, and he read it. I think it was a 3-page letter of explaining everything, why I converted to Islam and why I did what I did and why I didn't come for him for guidance or anything. So it just basically explained to him, I'm not a little girl. I'm growing up and I can make my own decisions. And and telling my friends, it wasn't as hard. Some, did drop me from the face of the earth, but it didn't stop me, because when those old friends left, new friends came in, and so they filled the void for me. So it was very, heartwarming that I had people like that who would help me.
And your parents' reaction?
Not happy. They were not very supporting. They're not very supportive now, nor do I think they ever will be very supportive. But their reaction was very, it felt like, they felt like I stabbed them in the back or stabbed them in the heart because of what I did. is what they told me.
Well, inshallah, the worst of the people of the Prophet ﷺ's time, and even this day and age, people have either converted or changed their opinions on Islam, become supportive. So, inshallah, may Allah give your parents hidayah.
Thank you.
And how is your relationship with them now?
My relationship with them now, it's rocky. It's very rocky. We have our good days, we have our bad days. But we're learning to, work with each other and, be there for each other. I still help them celebrate, the Christmas holiday or the Easter holiday. I'm there, but I don't I don't celebrate it fully with them like I used to when I was younger, or before I converted to Islam. But I mean, it's rocky. It's a rocky road, and it's going to be rocky for a little bit or a little bit longer. But in the end, somewhere down the road, there's a happy ending.
Absolutely. And how has your new set of Muslim friends and family, how has the support system with them been?
Awesome. The support system is amazing. I have a great Muslim friend of mine who is crazy like me. But she's there, if I'm crying on the phone, she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, no." So, she's my supporter, and I feel like she's my mentor in life. So I have some good Muslim friends who are there for me. And even my friends who aren't even Muslim, they still support me and still cheer for me every single day. And it's good to have friends like that who cheer for you.
And of course, there's always the critics.
The critics.
The non-Muslim critics
and
the Muslim critics. How do you go about dealing with those people?
I've witnessed a few weeks before I converted to Islam, I actually stopped at a coffee shop. I'm not going to say which coffee shop, but I stopped at a coffee shop. And there was a Muslim girl in front of me. I'm sorry, there was a woman, an older lady, and there was a Muslim woman in front of that woman. And I remember hearing this older lady say, "Oh, you Muslims always get what you want," or I honestly forget what she said, but she said something like, I guess something against her religion and how women are treated and things like that. And it tore me up that no one was saying anything, and this woman is being teared down just because she's wearing, a head covering, a hijab. And I was tired. I was like, I'm going to say something. And I said something. I said, there's no right for you to say anything. She's just standing in line, getting a cup of coffee, just like the rest of us. We're all human. We're born together, we're buried together, but we can't live together. And it made me mad, but not fully mad, because I felt sorry for this woman. And I also felt sorry for, the Muslim sister. I felt sorry for her. So I bought her the cup of coffee. I said, "I'm going to buy you your cup of coffee." Because what that person did, even in the Christian Bible, it says, love each other and love thy enemy and love thy neighbor. And, what she did was not Christian-like. And it just, that's one of the things that kind of changed my ways, not to judge others and not to do crazy things.
And do you ever let the critics get to you?
No. If someone came up to me and said, "Oh, go back to where you came from," I'm like, "So, you want me to go back to my house?" That's where I came from. I mean, I could go back to my house and take a long nap. I don't mind. I laugh at the critics because it's like, you don't know, They could be going through something harsh too, or, they're probably being harsh because they don't know what to think. So I just, I don't turn a blind cheek. I just be like, love you too.
So Islam is course, perfect. It's the deen of Allah, the religion that Allah has chosen for us. But we Muslims are not perfect. How would you, as a Muslim, or what would you do to be a better Muslim and to represent Islam to its perfection or to the best of your ability?
If another Muslim came up to me and said, what can I do to make myself stronger in Islam, I would just say, turn to Allah. Make prayer. You know, yeah, you may say, oh, I don't have time. But yet you may have time to go to the gym, but you can't make time to make a prayer. You know, I have struggles too. You know, it's hard to make the prayers, but it's a learning. You know, you're learning. This is your life to learn. And you need to cherish that life. You need to make yourself stronger in those prayers and for Allah. I would honestly have to tell them, just be true to yourself and make time. You know, if you can make time to sit down and have a cup of coffee, or make time to go to the gym or go see a friend, then you can make time to make prayer. You can make time to go to a small Islamic class at the local mosque, or you can sit down and before you're going to bed, watch a YouTube video of Islam and make yourself stronger. Just the little things can do so much to make yourself good.
That's true. We have so much resource out there as well. And speaking of resource, how do you study Islam, and what is your favorite resource to tap into to study Islam?
I actually watch a few YouTube channels. I'll probably listen to Yusuf Estes, or I'll go to a lot Maghrib classes. So I'll just go to my local mosque and just, they have little classes going on. I sometimes go to those, or, I'd go with my Islamic friends and we go to these classes or anything, or I'll just sit in my bed before I go to bed and watch a small little YouTube clip of one of the scholars.
That's good. And then how do you maintain your faith, your iman? How do you keep it high, and how do you keep it afloat? Keeping basically your faith as strong as possible.
I keep my faith afloat and strong just by doing little things that I know Allah would want us to do. Maybe charity, or, giving money to a homeless person, or buying that homeless person a cheeseburger or something. To keep myself, keep my faith strong, I just think of the little things. And before you can think of the little things, you do the big things. I would, just do the norm, just go and just set out, just do the little things that Allah or Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, will do. Just, put yourself in their shoes and be like, what, if Allah was me, what would he do? Or what if, Muhammad was me, what would I do?
What would, big question, WWJD.
Yes, what would?
And if you were to look in the mirror, or you met yourself, and you yourself came up to you and asked you, how do I maintain my prayers, my fasting, my relationship with Allah, what would you say to yourself that everyone else can apply to themselves as well?
So my first Ramadan, it was very hard. I was just quenching just a drink of water. But I was like, no, because, I worked at the time, my first Ramadan, I was a manager at a small restaurant. And I would always see, the homeless people, walk by the store. And I'm like, it makes you think that these people, I'm doing this because Allah has always said, there are people out there who don't have food, who don't have water. And He's testing us, and it's a test. So just looking at the big picture, you're growing yourself stronger. A picture has 1,000 words. And you just got to make yourself stronger and make yourself go forth. And I just said to myself, you know what? I can do this. This will make me good for myself, make me stronger for myself, make me stronger for Allah. And that's what I kept telling myself.
Really good advice.
Thank you.
To come to a bit of a close, what would you suggest for the Muslim Ummah at this point in time? Any advice or something that you think we as a Ummah need to try to do, basically?
I feel like the big thing is us as Muslims, we need to judge ourselves before we can judge others. I think that's the big thing, because there's so much judging out in the world that we need to start judging ourselves before we judge others. That's my...
Very good point.
Yes.
And that goes all around.
All around to everybody.
Muslims, non-Muslims, each and every
Goes
person.
to Christians, Jews, anyone, Muslims, you know.
You worry about yourself, then then the world could be a better place.
Yes.
And then what would you suggest to other revert Muslims?
I would probably ask them for some advice. I mean, I don't know what I would ask, but I mean, as you know, if you're thinking about converting to Islam, go to your local mosque and talk to those. You know, they'll definitely love to help you. They will open you up with like open arms, and they are there with love and caring and just all around joy. So just, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. You know, people are there 24/7, honestly. So don't be scared to go.
And then what would you like to suggest for those who are still searching for the truth?
If you're still searching for the truth, I would suggest, oh goodness, I would suggest just asking questions, you know. What is your big question that you have that you've been trying to figure out? And when you find that big question, ask it. And when you find your answer, you'll know it. You will know your answer, because I got my answer. I literally said, if there's any God of any faith, give me a sign. And I got my sign, and it was Islam. And I've been happy ever since.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
answering these questions that will definitely benefit a lot of people. And may Allah continue to keep you on the right path and make us all a lot like you and in touch with Allah. And may we all come closer to Him and develop that relationship with Him that we so crave.
Yes.
I mean, all right.
One day.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you.